With former Labor Minister Bill Shorten's departure from the NDIS earlier this year, there's been lots of questions circulating about what's going to happen to it post-election. The National Disability Insurance Scheme was introduced by the Gillard government in 2012 after the Senate inquiry found multiple inconsistencies in the 2007 National Disability Agreement. The NDIS gained bipartisan support, prompting the bill to be passed and implemented soon after in November 2012. The purpose of the NDIS is to allow Australians living with a disability to have complete autonomy over their lives and access to services they need. Funding is allocated based on individual needs and covers a range of categories, including home modifications such as lifts or special chairs, therapies including occupational or speech, and at-home services such as a disability support carer or an at-home nurse. The NDIS prides itself on inclusion. However, in February this year, a study was completed by the Medical Journal of Australia which found that it is not as inclusive as it could be. The study looked at nearly 500,000 applications completed by Australians over the age of 7 between the years of 2016 and 2022. The study found women and girls, those aged over 55, and those living with psychosocial disabilities are more likely to be rejected for NDIS funding. When looking at what the NDIS covers, it's primarily Australians living with a disability who are granted funding. This leaves Australians with a disability who aren't granted funding, or those who may not need funding but still experience discrimination daily without government support. In January this year, the Labor government announced the National Autism Strategy. This strategy focuses on social and economic inclusion, diagnosis, services and supports, and comprehensive health and mental health care for all autistic Australians. Although this strategy is a first for Australia and is much needed for our neurodivergent community, it does not address the exclusion experienced by other Australians living with disabilities. This election, the Greens have considered how they can support disabled Australians, developing plans that remove some exclusions the NDIS currently has. The biggest move has been to create a Minister for Disability to be responsible for the NDIS. This minister will represent all disabled Australians and support them throughout their lives. The NDIS has been supporting disabled Australians since its implementation, but it may be some time for changes post-election. This means that further inclusion for disabled Australians may actually be closer than we think. Amy Caruso, Mojo News.